Let me tell you something right now. The Dallas Cowboys training camp just exploded into chaos. And I mean literal chaos. Multiple brawls broke out during practice this week, culminating in one of the NFL's most shocking scenes of the summer. We're talking punches thrown, players tackled to the ground, and an intense atmosphere that had everyone on edge. And the most alarming part, their $70 million wide receiver, CeeDee reportedly got punched in the face during the melee. Yes, you heard that right. The Cowboys, a team that's expected to be Super Bowl contenders, suddenly found themselves battling not just opponents on the field, but internal conflict and discipline issues in their own camp. Now, let me break this down for you. Training camp is supposed to be about preparation, about sharpening skills, about building chemistry and trust. It's not supposed to be a street fight, but what we saw was frustration boiling over, tempers flaring, egos clashing, and a locker room atmosphere that's dangerously close to unraveling. And when a $70 million player like Lamb gets caught up in a brawl and injured, that's a red flag. That's a sign that something deeper is going wrong behind the scenes. You better believe that this situation is sending shockwaves through the Cowboys organization. Coach Mike McCarthy has his work cut out for him. Keeping discipline, controlling emotions, and fostering unity. That's the challenge now, because the NFL season is unforgiving and a fractured locker room is a recipe for disaster. There's no room for distractions when you're chasing a Lombardi trophy, no matter how talented your roster. Speaking of talent, let's not forget what's at stake here. The Cowboys still boast one of the league's most explosive offenses. With Dak Prescott under center, CeeDee Lamb as the lead receiver, and a supporting cast loaded with skill, they have all the pieces to make a deep playoff run. But football is as much mental as it is physical. If this internal turmoil isn't addressed quickly, it could derail the entire season. Now, let me talk about the league-wide implications. We've seen training camp fights before, but rarely do they involve this level of intensity and star players getting physically hurt. It raises questions about leadership, team culture, and the psychological pressure these athletes face. The NFL is a high-stakes business, and sometimes the pressure cooker environment leads to explosions like this. But it's on the coaches, the veterans, and the organization to channel that energy productively. Look, this isn't just a Dallas issue. This is a lesson for every team. You can have the best playmakers, the biggest contracts, the flashy uniforms. But if your locker room isn't solid, your championship dreams will crumble. Discipline, respect, and teamwork aren't optional. They're mandatory. So here's what has to happen. Next, Cowboys need a reset. They need to come together, have honest conversations, and get back to the fundamentals of football: trust, communication, and grit. Mike McCarthy has to assert control, establish accountability, and make sure this doesn't happen again. The players have to put the brawl behind them and focus on the goal: winning and fans. They deserve better. The Cowboys represent a city, a tradition, and millions of loyal supporters who want to see professionalism, not chaos. This incident is a wake-up call, not just for Dallas, but for the entire league. Now, I'm not counting the Cowboys out, not by a long shot. They have the talent, the coaching staff, and the resources to overcome this. But the clock is ticking. The preseason is short, the regular season even shorter. If they can't get their house in order, the fallout could be severe. So buckle up, folks. This off-season drama isn't just tabloid fodder. It's a potential turning point for one of the NFL's flagship franchises. Will the Cowboys rise above the chaos, or will this be the season where internal strife costs them dearly? Time will tell. Asterisk.